Hey, how's it going? In this video, I wanted to talk about how I pitch my vocals to collaborate with other artists. If you're new here, my name is Nick. I'm a singer and songwriter and artist based in Los Angeles. And I wanted to just kind of film a really raw and unedited video about how to get started as a vocalist, or how to think about collaborating with people if you are a singer and you want to do work kind of like this. This is an example of maybe what I'm talking about. This is a song that came out a few years ago with some now friends of mine. They approached me with an instrumental and said, hey, would you be interested in working and collaborating on a song together? And we did. This song ended up coming out. I wrote the lyrics, sang the song, and we kind of went back and forth over the course of a couple months and finished a song together remotely. I don't remember where these guys are based, but this was an entirely remote session. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. I think this is maybe like a popular way to make music or think about making music these days. Oftentimes I found that, especially in the electronic music space or the pop music space, sessions are happening remotely, and producers will be making instrumentals for their music and are looking for new original vocals that they can use in the song to help them stand out in when they get released, because oftentimes they're using like splice loops or some other found vocal to build the track around, and then obviously they can't use that when it comes time to release, so they start reaching out to vocalists to see if anybody is interested in collaborating. So I would say 50% of the time, I usually, as somebody who's uploading, I upload my own songs, my own music that I write and record to YouTube and Spotify, Apple Music, all the usual places, and eventually, after I'd started doing that for a number of years, probably 3 or 4 years, producers and DJs and electronic artists started finding my music and my voice and my vocals and reaching out to me, sending me emails saying hey, do you want to work on some songs together? So this is an example of the type of email that I usually get from these folks. This email is from a friend now, that's why it says hey buddy, but normally it's hey Nick, I found your song on this playlist, would you be interested in collaborating on these songs? I live here, this is the type of music I make, and then these are some demos that I'm working on, and we can kind of chat about whether or not I would be a good fit for that particular project. So here you can see in the email, this is typically what they look like, where a producer or an artist will send me 4 or 5 maybe loose instrumentals that they are working on or thinking about at the moment, and I'll listen through all of them and pick out usually 1, maybe 2 that I think I would be a good fit for. Maybe it's the right key for me to be singing in. Maybe I really just like the song or the way the instrumental is and not what it sounds like at the moment. And I'll reply hey, yes, this would be a great one to collaborate on. And I might use my iPhone or something to record a quick thing, or I record everything in Logic Pro, where I'll come on to SoundCloud, download the instrumental, put it into Logic, and I'll send over 1 or 2 ideas. Hey, what do you think of this for a chorus? What do you think of this for a verse? So I'm writing, and maybe over the course of maybe 2 months or 3 months, we'll go back and forth over a bunch of different emails. Hey, I like this, I don't like this. Sometimes we'll get onto a Zoom session and just hash it out, things we like, things we don't like, and we'll work on a song together, and we'll collaborate until it's done. So I'd say half of the time, maybe 50% of the time, this is how these types of collaborations happen, is just organically somebody will find something I was singing on in the past, usually one of my own songs, but sometimes they'll find something else that I featured on, reach out to me and say, hey Nick, we like what you're up to, do you want to work on more music that's like that? Let's collaborate. So that's maybe half of the time, and that's how I got started as a featured vocalist here on a bunch of different songs. You can probably look up my name on YouTube and see all the different songs that I've collaborated on. Then the one that I really am excited about is this other world of maybe you don't want to just wait for somebody to reach out to you for you to collaborate and start working in this capacity. There's a complete opposite side of this that I also do that's a little bit more proactive and makes me feel like I can actually almost act like my own publisher in a way to help get songs made. So as a songwriter, I'm usually in a fair number of songwriting sessions. I go into co-writes with other people. Sometimes I'm just drinking my coffee and writing songs at home in my own Logic studio, or wherever I'm writing on guitar or something like that. What I do at the end of those writing sessions, if we didn't start a writing session for a purpose, sometimes we'll go into a writing session like, hey, here's this artist we are trying to write a song for, and so that's maybe a little bit different. We go in with like a mission, but sometimes I just get together with friends writing for the sake of writing, just to see what comes out, see if we come up with anything fun or catchy, and then at the end of those sessions, what I'll do is I'll go and record a demo of the song that we made that day. And what the demo usually consists of is a bass line and some very, very small drums. Sometimes I'll put in just light piano chords or maybe just light guitar chords, but I'm trying to produce a demo of our writing session that is very simple. I try not to produce a song from the session. I try to leave the song as kind of wide open as possible. So it has like the tempo is pretty much figured out, the key is figured out, and I'll go and sing and edit one lead vocal. I'll go in, do a couple takes, edit it in Melodyne and Autotune, and then export that like very basic, simple demo. And then here on SoundCloud, I have a playlist. This playlist is called Available Vocal Top Lines, where I take all of the songs that have come out of songwriting sessions over the months or years, and I upload them onto here of songs that are available. These are songs that didn't have a person in mind. Nobody reached out to me for it ahead of time. It's just like I wrote it myself, or I wrote it with somebody else, and now I have basically a vocal or a song that is available to make a song around. And so the example that I gave before was producers have a finished instrumental and they're looking for vocals for it. But in this case, I have a finished vocal or a finished vocal idea that I then take this playlist and I send it and email it out to producers or friends of mine, or even sometimes publishers or managers of artists or producers that I would like to collaborate with on a song. And the way that I find those types of people on Spotify or Apple Music is listening. I listen to a lot of music, and sometimes an artist's music that has maybe has featured vocals on it will catch my ear, and I'll go, oh, I would really love to work and collaborate with that person. And so I will take this playlist and I'll find the best contact email address for them or their Instagram profile or something, and I'll send them this playlist. Right now there's only 6 songs on it. I'm recording this like at the very beginning of the year. I just went in and like really cleaned this up, got rid of a bunch of stuff that has already been produced and is out there. But you can see here in this playlist, what I do is I'll upload the song and I'll give it a name, something catchy or fun. This is also one of those things I try not to come up with anything too specific. I really try to just leave an open palette so that if somebody else hears this song, they can get excited about it and can like picture themselves in it. I try not to color it too much in any direction with the song title or with the lyric, or excuse me, with the instrumental that I provide. So this example here, I can't play it because it'll probably get struck down at some point if this vocal ever comes out. But like I was saying, this is just a bass line, a kick drum, and I think a snare drum, and it's just me singing the vocal here, very simply. And what I'll be doing is sending this out to people that I'm interested in collaborating with. And if they're interested, you can actually come in here, and in this playlist I have a Google Drive with a link out to the MIDI for the song. I put the key of the song in the title here, the BPM that I'm working at, all of these things that a producer who would want to work on this song, if they listened to one of these and they're like, oh, I really like that, I would love to work on a song together, they can just start working. Something that I found early on when I was pitching my songs to producers to collaborate with, oftentimes I either wouldn't hear back or it'd be really slow to get going, and it was because it was like a lot of back and forth. They'd be like, okay, can you send me the vocal? Can you tell me what key it's in? What BPM is this at? Can I pitch it up? Can I pitch it down? Who co-wrote it? Well, who owns the publishing? All these like really boring things that I now like include right there in my Google Drive folder. My preference, I actually really like doing the collaboration this way because it allows me to basically go into writing sessions knowing that every song has potential. I often find if you write a lot of songs or you're in a lot of co-writes, maybe you experience this too, but sometimes at the end of it everybody kind of goes, okay, that was cool, but like what are we going to do with this song now? Who's going to release it? And everyone's kind of like, well, this isn't really my vibe, or I don't want this for my artist project, I don't want this for anybody I know. This just gives me a home base to upload everything that I'm working on that I think is cool. If we leave a writing session excited by a song but don't necessarily want to release it ourselves, this gives like a place to put all of those ideas. And then as I meet people, I live here in Los Angeles, I go to meetups or parties and stuff, and I meet musicians all the time. I have like one URL that I can share with all of them and say, hey, if you're interested in collaborating on a song together, I actually already have a whole bunch of songs that are done if you want to come and make a beat or make an instrumental around it. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. If you are a singer or a songwriter trying to get more placements for the songs that you're working on, you can do the same thing. You can make your own SoundCloud playlists, maybe send this out to publishers, little indie publishers or indie record labels, especially in the electronic music space. Reach out to the A&R that runs the label or who is in charge of the catalog at the label. Say, hey, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter. Here's 25 songs that I've written. The vocal is done. Is anybody on your roster? Do you think anybody would be interested in collaborating with me on any of these songs? One quick thing that I forgot to mention, there is a gap basically between what I have uploaded here and a finished song, and that's a little bit intentional. I ran into it once. It was a problem one time, so I'm cautioning against it. I used to produce all of the vocals up front. I would record a lead vocal, I'd do doubles, harmonies, ad-libs, I would mix the vocals, I would do everything so that the vocals were like ready to go, ready to ship, and that was helpful. Like that sped things up when a producer got it, right? They can just start making like a finished product right out of the gate. But you do run the risk if you send everything that a producer needs to finish the song up front, that maybe they don't email you back or something and they just upload the song without you ever knowing or you ever finding out. And that's a little tricky to navigate. So now I just send a lead vocal and I send in the email like, hey, if you want to continue working on this together, let me know, and I'm happy to record doubles, harmonies, and stuff. And then we'll go back and forth, really fine-tuning the song. I might even re-record this vocal, but my goal is to basically make it so that the producer can hear a song that they like in this playlist. Hopefully they do, and they go, oh, I would love to work on that right now tonight. I'm sitting down at my computer after work, or I just got to the studio today, and they can jump in here, find something they like, and immediately start working to build an instrumental around it, and not have to wait for me to send them all of the vocals and the beat and stuff. There's a folder in there with everything for them to just download. They could, my email address to reach back out to me if they didn't get it from the email. I try to just make it as clean and as clear as possible. So yeah, those are maybe the two worlds. You can either wait for cool artists and producers to reach out to you with ideas and collaborations. This is pretty common, I would say, producers looking for vocalists. But if you are a singer or a songwriter looking to get more placements for your songs, this is maybe another approach that I found pretty successful. So this is usually how I'm communicating with people working on music that I really enjoy and trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody involved. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Happy to answer them, and good luck. Have fun making music. See you in the next video.